Clearing. Okay. I really gotta get better at introducing myself. Okay. Thank you, God. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to be a vessel of unconditional love, to channel helpful, divine messages for the viewer. Thank you for being here to watch this reading. These messages are for you, for me, and for the entire collective. We're going to start with the tarot. We're working with the Anima Mundi tarot. Okay, first card we have the Three of Swords in reverse. So I'm getting this energy of revision. I'm getting this energy of healing, kind of transmuting traumatic energies. Like the Three of Swords, you know, is all about heartbreak. The swords are in the heart, upright. It's that energy of of sheer disappointment in the heart space. And so when it's in reverse, the swords are falling out. We're not quite ready yet to, I don't know, experience love in the way that we want to just yet, because we're still ruminating on past energies, but not in the attached, anxious way, more so in the, okay, I'm transmuting this. like it's over, it's done, it's like you've accepted it, and so now naturally the traumatic energies are falling out. It's like detaching the emotions or the reactions from the event, from the situation that occurred. So this is really good energy. It's coming back to a place of neutrality and equilibrium. Okay, thank you, Source. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. Wait, I didn't show you the Three of Swords in reverse. And now we have the Six of Pentacles. And so when we're transmuting this energy of heartbreak and we're looking at the situation, we're detaching the emotional response from the situation. We come back to this place of neutrality and equilibrium so that balance can be restored, because the Six of Pentacles is about balance. I mean, we see here on the picture, there's 3 on each side. And it's all about reciprocation and generosity. And I'm getting that, like, on one side, you're creating something. On the other side, it's the universe creating something to match that same energy. So when you transmute these energies of heartbreak and disappointment, you're seeing it as completely neutral. The universe is going to give you more of those neutral situations, if that makes sense. Or at least, like, no, okay, what I'm hearing is, like, no matter what you perceive, whether it's heartbreak, if you know, find yourself in the same cycle, you're not going to be seeing it the same way you did in the past, because you've neutralized it. So maybe you're in another, or maybe you're, like, repeating a cycle where a past version of you would find this situation very, like, disappointing, but because it's like you're at a neutral observation perspective, it has no effect on you. It has no effect on you. And so that's a very good place to be in. That's a very good place to be in, because that's how we grow, you know? That's how we grow. We grow like this beautiful tree, this beautiful trunk, and it's beautiful wildlife, you know, living there. All right, what else, Spirit? Okay, we have the Ace of Cups and the Emperor. I love that. I love seeing the Emperor. And on the back of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands. And so the Nine of Wands is very much about like a wounded healer, wounded warrior energy, maybe wounded healer. It could be a significant label for some of you. We have the Ace of Cups and the Emperor. So you've come to this place of neutrality with all of your cycles or whatnot, and you're coming back to this place of unconditional love and unity within yourself, because the Ace of Cups, you know, it's just one cup, but that's like everything, because you are one and we are all one. And you're understanding that the entire amount, I can't even say amount, but the entire unconditional love that unifies us all, you're letting it flow through you, and you're letting it flow through you, but you're also letting it, what do you call the water that's like pouring over? You're letting it spill over you. There we go. Onto other areas of your life, onto other people that you meet. Beautiful. And we have this Emperor energy, which is all about structure. It's the divine masculine. It's very much physicality. It's very much physicality. It's like the king of all kings. That's who the Emperor is. And so when I think about like divine masculine energy, I very much think about, I don't know if discernment is the right word, but something about in that direction. You're very much grounded in this truth of unconditional love. And so we have the Nine of Wands, and then on the back, behind that, we have the Two of Swords. So what I'm getting is that you're no longer seeing yourself, or you don't need to see yourself as like a wounded warrior, or like, I'm getting very much like a hyper independent energy. So it's not like you're putting up an armor against others, against new experiences, against the world, because that constantly leaves you in a state of having to consciously discern, of having to be like, can I trust this person? Can I trust this experience or no? Because you are trust itself. You are unconditional love. And you're standing on that truth like the king of all kings. You're standing on that truth like the king of all kings. That's beautiful. I love it. Okay. We're going to get into our manifestation deck. This is the Animal Apothecary. I've recently got this deck. It's a new one, and I'm like so in love with it because I love conscious manifestation and Jungian philosophies, and that's very much how the creator of this deck approached it. Very much that animals have, you know, symbolic meanings, and they all have their own medicine for our spirits. And so let's see. What can I ask here? What should we know? I guess what should we know? That's a good enough question. Just leaving it open. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to channel these messages, to bring clarity to whoever's watching here, and for myself, because we are all one. You and me, we are one. Me, you, the collective. All right, what do we have? Immense growth. Yeah. So because you've come to this place of neutral observation mode, like, that's propelling your growth, because you're no longer coming at your manifestations or all of your experiences as somebody who needs to be on a journey or somebody who needs to get anywhere, okay? Because all of that is taking place within you the moment you've decided who you are. That is unconditional love. That is the king of all kings. No matter your gender, you are the king of all kings here. Immense growth. Okay, and what I really love about this card, like on the back of the deck, we have Nourish the Shadow. But on the Immense Growth card, what I really love about this, okay, two things. I love the Fibonacci sequence just because it's one of the most satisfying visual, I don't know, patterns. You know, we start off with this like tiny little square, and then it just keeps multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. So it's immense growth, it's exponential growth. And with the vulture here, you know, the vultures are all about, you know, they don't kill anything for their food. They wait for the death to occur and then they feed on that food. So it's not like you have to. Okay, I'm getting also a connection with the Nourish the Shadow. So when we're nourishing our shadow, we don't have to go finding it and killing it and keep reviving that old story. Kind of like how you're healing a wound on your body. We don't have to constantly keep like picking the scab or whatever to see if it's healing. We just kind of let it heal, and if something comes up, that's when it's time to nourish the shadow. That's when it's time to feed. You know, because by the time that wound, you know, if it reopens or something comes up, like, that's the time to deal with it, not when it's healing and everything's chilling and everything's fine. You don't need to constantly heal. You're already doing it. It's when those things come up, that's when it's the time to nourish the shadow, to show it love, and just, excuse me, confirmation burp. I don't know what I was just saying, but nourish the shadow as your unconditional, loving, King of Kings self. You're a compassionate person, and that is how you should be treating, you know, these old stories when they come back up. These old stories, they're attached to an old version of ourselves, and we need to show that version of ourselves radical compassion, radical unconditional love, complete unity consciousness. All right, let's get one more card and we'll close it out. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Collective, for being here. What else can we get from this message? Oh, wait a second. Okay, some of these are backwards. Hold on. No. Okay. Not backwards in, like, reverse position, just, like, literally backwards in the deck. But it was too many, so I'm not gonna dig through that. I'm just gonna allow Spirit to have one card, please. One last card to close out this reading. Ooh, okay. Tame and attain. Yes. So, when we've nourished this shadow, when we are, the vulture allowing our prey to die and then to feed it? No, like allowing it to die and then feeding on it to transmute it and make it into something useful. By doing that, we're nourishing the shadow, and we're taming that old version of ourselves to attain the thing that it is that we want, the new life that we want, the new story that we want. Because, energy cannot be created or destroyed. So when energy cannot be created or destroyed. So that old story, we can't completely disown it. You know what I mean? Like it is, when we own that old story, show it unconditional love, to transmute it, to nourish it, that is when we can tame that old version of ourselves. That is when we can use that version of ourselves to our advantage into this new story. Anyway, that is all I have for you. Thank you again for being here. Yeah, have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day. Thank you.